Human belief, it might just be the most powerful force on the planet, and the most dangerous. It can inspire us to create wonders that literally outlast empires, but it can also be twisted into a weapon, a way to justify the absolute unthinkable. So let's dive into this wild duality, starting with a story of complete and utter darkness.
Those are the actual words of Elizabeth Smart remembering a moment from her kidnapping. It's a chilling reminder of how a single warped belief inside one person's head can become a living nightmare for someone else. You probably remember her story. It was all over the news back in 2002. At just 14 years old, Elizabeth was taken right from her own bedroom, sparking this massive, desperate search across the country. For 9 horrific months, she was held captive by this man, Brian David Mitchell, and his wife, Wanda Barzee. The facts of the case are just grim. But what's truly staggering, what really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today, is the reason he gave for doing it. Mitchell was driven by a belief so powerful it completely wiped out his moral compass. He actually claimed he was following a commandment from God to take 7 young wives, and that Elizabeth was just number 1. It's a sacred idea, twisted into an excuse for something so profane. And it just forces you to stop and ask, how? How does something you can't even see or touch, like a belief, become a force of such total personal destruction? How can it empower someone to just shatter another person's life? Okay, but now I want you to just take a breath with me. Because what if I told you that the very same force, this raw power of human belief, is also responsible for this, one of the most magnificent, awe-inspiring things humanity has ever achieved? So let's leave that darkness for a minute and travel way back in time, about 4,600 years, to the sands of ancient Egypt. This is the Great Pyramid of Giza. And it's a monument born not from one man's twisted idea, but from the shared, unifying faith of an entire civilization. Seriously, just try to wrap your head around that number. 4,600 years. This structure has watched entire civilizations rise and fall. It was ancient to the Romans. It's a testament to a belief that was built to last. And just look at the sheer scale of it, over 2 million blocks of stone, and some of them weigh as much as a space shuttle. A space shuttle. This wasn't just built, it was orchestrated on a level that's almost impossible to imagine. It took a whole city of people to build this city for the dead, a dedicated workforce of 20,000 skilled laborers. And historians are pretty clear on this now. This was not slave labor. This was a national project, and it was staffed by people who truly believed in what they were doing. And it took them 20 years. An entire generation of people poured their lives into this one single monumental task. So the big question is, what on earth could motivate that kind of dedication? Well, the answer is a shared story, a powerful collective belief that united an entire people. For the ancient Egyptians, the pharaoh wasn't just a king, he was a living god. So building his tomb, his house for eternity, that wasn't a job, it was a holy aim, a sacred duty that they believed guaranteed the survival of their entire world. A modern-day guide at the pyramids summed it up perfectly. This is the idea that ties our two stories together. For the Egyptians, their shared belief made the impossible possible. It just shows you the sheer world-changing power of what we decide to believe in together. And what's so fascinating is how this belief wasn't just some abstract idea floating around. No, they translated it into stone and sand through some of the most brilliant engineering the world has ever seen. So how'd they do it? Well, here's the truly ingenious part. The current thinking is they built this massive ramp out of sand and clay that literally spiraled up around the pyramid as it got taller. Then, teams of workers and oxen would haul those massive blocks up on sledges. And get this, they brilliantly built all the complicated stuff on the inside first, the chambers and the hallways, and then built the huge monument around it all. And this right here, this lays it all out, plain as day. On one side, you have a belief that's twisted to justify the destruction and isolation of one single innocent person. And on the other, a shared belief that mobilized an entire nation to create something eternal. Destruction versus creation. One versus many. Both unleashed by the exact same human capacity for faith. The legacy of that incredible faith is a story that's written in stone, and it's a story we are still learning how to read. The pyramids aren't just relics, they're an active, unfolding mystery.
Okay, now get this. The general director of the pyramids claims that everything we've found so far, all the tombs, the temples, the treasures, is only 30% of what's actually out there. A staggering 70% of ancient Egypt's history is still buried under the sand, just waiting for us. I mean, that's absolutely mind-boggling. And the more we look, the more mysteries we find. We've sent these little robotic probes deep inside the Great Pyramid, and they found sealed doors with these strange copper handles, leading to who knows where. And then, modern scans using cosmic rays have detected a massive empty void, the size of a passenger jet, just hidden right in the middle of the pyramid. And experts still believe that somewhere inside all that stone, King Khufu's real chamber and his mummy are still waiting to be found. So when we bring these two worlds together, the lonely terror of a kidnapping and the collective awe of an entire civilization, we see belief in its rawest form. It is a tool for both unimaginable destruction and absolutely breathtaking creation. And that brings us right back to Elizabeth Smart. Because her story didn't end with her captor's destructive belief. It was met with her own powerful, creative one, the belief in survival. Her legacy isn't what was done to her, it's what she chose to build afterwards. Her life is this living proof that your own belief in a future can be the force that overcomes the absolute darkest of times. And that defiant act of personal creation, it really echoes the spirit of the pyramid builders. That guide's simple phrase, it's more than just a line for tourists. It's the ultimate expression of human potential, unlocked by belief. I mean, if we can do that, what can't we do? And that leaves us with this final thought. Belief itself is neutral. It's like fire. It can warm your house, or it can burn it to the ground. It can be used to build wonders that inspire humanity for thousands of years, or it can be sharpened into a weapon to terrorize one person. The power is ours. The choice of what we build with it, well, that's on all of us.